So I've decided to make this video for a few coworkers. I began the day before by preparing the celery root salad. Just as before, I used lemon, salt, and I didn't have sour cream this time, so I just used mayonnaise and lots of mustard. And I also pre-cooked my potato, so all I had to do is just heat it up tomorrow and make mashed potatoes. And lastly, I brined my chicken this time because last time I think it was hard to season the chicken. Remember on September 2020, I arrived in my 216 square foot apartment with 2 luggage, 5 shirts, 2 sweaters, 1 pair of outdoor pants, and 1 pair of indoor pajamas. I ripped my only pair of indoor pants and refused to wear my jeans indoors, so I looked in the surrounding areas for clothing stores but couldn't find any. I had to order them, but they were delayed because it was snowing outside for that week. I could barely function during that time. All I could think about was how cold my legs felt. I attended online class without pants. I took out the garbage without pants. I looked for jobs without pants. It consumed my life. Even when I received my pants, I had to wait 2 days for the pants to hang dry. It made me think about whether I'd become a stronger person without the pants, or if it meant that I remained stubborn until this day because I didn't wear the jeans indoors. I think I've never really had any traditions that I've wanted to practice in my life. But this year it snowed this week. I'm also alone in my apartment, and it made me want to relive some things from last year. That's why I've decided to make the same dishes, the celery root salad, fried chicken, mashed potatoes. This time I have access to more ingredients, and I have quite a few new kitchen tools. Alright, it's Christmas Day now. So I began by making my little seasoning mix, and I didn't have what Alton Brown had, so I used garlic powder, some ancho chili powder, and I did have Aleppo pepper, which is maybe the main spice, but I did not have sumac. So I decided to use this Chinese fish seasoning that you sometimes eat with lamb skewers. It tastes good with everything, so I decided to just add it. And I mixed it well. Then just sprinkle it on all the piece of chicken and rub it in really well. And after that, I put it in the fridge to let it dry out for a little bit because it's still kind of wet from the brine. And this year, I also had buttermilk for the chicken instead of using sour cream. I think the celery root salad might taste better with the sour cream though. And I cracked open 1 egg. And I didn't have bourbon, so I used some Chinese cooking wine instead. Next is to make the flour dredge. So I just used some all-purpose flour here, and I didn't measure it, just some, enough to cover all the chicken. And you're also going to want to use a couple of spoonfuls of cornstarch. It's just the standard breading procedure where you put it in the buttermilk first. And then into the flour. And then back onto the rack. And the chicken is pretty cold, so I let it sit for a good 50 minutes before frying. Then all that's left to do is just to fry in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oil and maintain close to 325 degrees as possible. And I was surprised I could do this on an electric stove. This is not the best footage chicken, but I'm frying chicken. And I still don't have a potato masher, so I used the same red silicone slotted spoon to mash it down. I also made deep fried chicken this time because I had a wok, and I wanted to try to make the chicken from the reloaded episode of Good Eats. I didn't have sumac, but I did have Aleppo pepper, so my chicken is probably less acidic than his chicken. It's crazy to see how much things have changed in just a year. My videos are an embarrassing mess, but I think when I made them, I was in such a bad mental state that I didn't really care at the time. It was therapeutic for me to just laugh at myself. I think my videos are something that only I could enjoy. In my first video, I told a couple of lies. The first one was that the chicken tasted good. That chicken was the worst chicken I've ever had in my life. And the second lie I told myself was that after I uploaded that video, I would stop caring about other people's expectations and completely fulfill this lost dream of mine to create something, no matter how horrible it was. And I won't say the same thing this year, but I think this time, this really is a step towards that goal. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble, and have a nice holiday.